Hi, I'm Avery. Welcome to Kidpower Shorts. Being persistent and asking for help from people who might be impatient, annoyed, or busy is a fundamental Kidpower skill. There are lots of feelings that can get in the way of our getting help when we need it. For example, I am a very independent person and often prefer to solve problems myself. Some of my friends don't like to talk about problems because they would rather pretend that everything is fine, or they want to hide the fact that anything is wrong. Waiting too long to ask for help can lead to having the problem get worse, or to trying to deal with it in an unsafe way. Often, getting help is not as simple as it sounds. You might be wondering, where do I go? Who can I talk to, and what do I say? What if I ask someone for help and they don't listen? What if someone gets upset with me for speaking up? First of all, in making a plan for where to go to get help, you'll need to think about reaching out to one or more people in different kinds of places. For some kinds of problems, there are public places such as shops, police stations, hotels, or support websites. For other issues, you might look within your family, circle of friends, or professionals such as educators, counselors, or advisors. Next, you need to decide who is the best person to talk with. Remember, you don't have to get help from only one person. You can choose to get help from as many people as you want. For issues with relationships, think about the questions or concerns you are struggling with and connect with someone who you believe has the skills, experience, and authority to provide answers and solutions. You also want someone who is trustworthy and who will listen respectfully. It is a poor use of time and causes a lot of stress to ask for help from people who might put you down for having a problem, give lectures, or gossip with others. Sometimes the best person to talk with is a parent who needs to know if you are having a safety problem, or with a supportive family member or friends who can provide ideas and encouragement. In many situations, you will need to find someone who has the authority to do something to help solve the problem, such as a teacher or professor at school, your boss or human resources department at work, the manager of a store or restaurant, a police officer for a public safety issue, a healthcare professional if you have a medical concern, or a moderator if someone is acting unsafely online. In an emergency, such as an incident, fire, or attack in public, you might need to ask everyone for help. The next step is to figure out what to say. If someone is distracted and busy, you first need to get their attention in a way that is both powerful and respectful, even if you feel very frustrated and uncomfortable. To practice, hold your body straight and tall and say with a clear, calm voice, "Excuse me, I need help." If you sound whiny or begging, the other person might get irritated. If you are laughing or joking, the other person might think you're not serious. If you are acting angry, the other person might react to your anger rather than to what you are actually saying and get upset. How you communicate matters in how people will respond to you. Can you hear the difference?
Ugh, I need help. I need help.
Can't you see I need help? And finally, I need help. If you don't feel confident speaking with a calm and assertive voice just yet, that's okay. For a difficult situation where you have lots of feelings, try writing down the specific problem and what you want to be different as objectively as possible, focusing on behavior rather than attacking intentions. Write down any questions you have so you won't forget. For important issues, if at all possible, do your best to speak directly with the person you need help from, rather than texting or emailing. Rehearsing what to say and do will prepare you to communicate effectively in real life. You can practice at home, maybe with a mirror. Remember, people will bother you less and listen to you more when you communicate with an assertive attitude of awareness, calm, respect, and confidence. Have you ever noticed that sometimes people don't listen to you? I sure have. If someone does not listen to you the first time you reach out for help, persist. You can also use a boundary bridge. If someone really refuses to help you, don't give up. If one person won't help, ask another, and another, and another. If you have a safety problem, tell and keep telling until you get the help that you need. Another worry is that someone might get angry because you asked for help. Sometimes people are afraid of being accused of being a tattletale or a snitch or of ratting someone out. So, what's the difference between getting help and tattling? Even if we call it by other names, being accused of tattling can happen to everyone, including adults. Being worried about tattling can stop many people from getting help, even when it is really important to do so because the other person's behavior is causing harm to you or to someone else. The main difference between telling and tattling is your intention. Tattling means trying to get someone in trouble. Telling to get help means trying to solve a problem. If someone is doing something unsafe or disrespectful, you might first set a boundary to let them know that what is happening is not okay with you. If this boundary is not being accepted, or if you feel that speaking up will be unsafe, then it may be best to get help, even if the other person will be angry or will get in trouble. People who are upset often say mean things. If this happens, you can use many emotional safety techniques to protect your feelings, such as the trash can, emotional raincoat, or heart power. You may also choose to reassess your friendship with this person if they continue to be upset about your choice to get help. You may choose to adjust your emotional distance or to get space by spending less time with them, both in person and online. If the situation is bad enough, you might choose to end the friendship, get another job, or leave a social group. If someone says or does something disrespectful or harmful to you or others, it's completely normal to have thoughts and feelings like, I don't want them to get away with doing this. I'm going to get even. Unfortunately, actions taken to punish someone or to get revenge usually make the problem worse, not better. Venting with others to get them to think less of someone or making up a story in order to get someone in trouble can be harmful to both this person and to your own reputation. Not only can you hurt others, but doing this often backfires so that you make yourself less credible. Instead of reacting from a triggered place when you don't like what someone has said or done, you can use your calm down power and move away so that you can think first. Give yourself time to figure out the best ways to manage your emotional triggers, protect your feelings, set boundaries, and get the kind of help that will lead you to solutions rather than further harm. If you are unsure whether to get help about a problem, ask yourself, is the idea of someone else's upset getting in the way of my thinking clearly about this issue? Remember Kidpower's founding principle. Each of our safety and well-being are more important than anyone's embarrassment, inconvenience, or offense. And remember, it is never too late to reach out for help. Thank you for watching Kidpower Shorts. There's more about everything we teach online at kidpower.org/relationship.